Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we will be reacting to Sausage Party. This is a donation reward for Sweet Venom. And yeah, this is a great example of taking my words to heart. Because as I've said, I'm willing to check out anything. I'm willing to react to anything. As long as I haven't seen it and like maybe one exception here or there. But it's like I'm willing to give anything a chance. If you want to if you wish to donate for a reaction, choose whatever you want. This is taking this to heart because Sausage Party, from one trailer I saw back when this was first coming out, from what I know about this film, it looks really fucking bad. Like, exceptionally dumb, shocking for the sake of being shocking, and, like, just completely ridiculous. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm actually going to end up thinking about because there have been movies that I thought would be bad that I ended up liking or even loving. Same with shows and games and yada yada. Um, but this seems like it's basically the equivalent of a stoner comedy, and I tend to not like those. But I did say I would be willing to check this out. And it was requested, it was donated for, so I'm checking it out. I'm willing to give anything a chance anyway. Um, just like with food itself, I'm willing to give anything a shot. If I don't like it, I don't like it. But I might like it. The possibility does exist. And I guess I should just talk about what I know about this. So I know that it's about food, and in the way that I mean all the characters, all the main characters are food. There are humans in it, and I believe that the main plot centers around the food rising up against the humans because they're sick of being eaten and stuff. Or I guess technically they aren't eaten yet. It's their friends and family who have been eaten and that kind of shit. Um, I also know that there was some controversy with this movie, specifically with in terms of the animators not getting proper credit and whatnot. Um, there was some controversy with how the animators and whatnot were handled and how they were treated and everything for this film. And yeah, that's obviously very bad. It's like there's no getting around it. Um, Mistreating your animators is absolutely atrocious. And to be fair, I don't think it was Seth Rogen. This is like his film and everything. I don't think he was the one who did it. I think it was like whoever he put in charge of that, whoever was handling all of that stuff. Um, but yeah, it's like it's still terrible and should never have happened in the way that it did. And that's why I pirate shit. Well, that's one reason why I pirate shit. Another reason being that it's just easier for reactions. Because I don't have to worry about anything fucking up if I have it just downloaded. Um, but yeah, it's like that's just terrible, and I'm not gonna put it against the actual quality and content of the film, because that's a separate issue, and it's an important issue for production of the film, but it doesn't really equate to, is the film actually good as a movie or not. Now, I know that there are sexual references in this. This is an R-rated movie. I know there are sexual references. I know there are drug references, that kind of stuff. It's Seth Rogen movie, of course there are. I don't know how they're handled, because usually I can be fine with a sexual reference or a joke or whatnot, or one about drugs or stuff. It's just how it's handled, and usually a lot of stoner comedies tend to just take it too far and go overboard, and just they exaggerate and exasperate everything so hard that it stops being funny. And that's my issue with stoner comedies that I've seen, at least. It's way too exaggerated and way too ridiculous in its presentation. Now, with this being animated, that does allow for a little more ridiculousness, because animation handles that better than live action. It just does. It's fact. Nah, it's my opinion, obviously. But I definitely feel that there's a lot of evidence to support it, at least. There is animation, due to the way it moves, the way expressions are done. It allows for a lot more elasticity in the script, which can allow for more zany antics and all. Because of this, they can get away with a lot that live action just wouldn't be able to, because it just works in the medium. And again, it's all subjective, of course, but we'll just have to see how it all pans out. My big worry for this, the biggest worry over anything else, is I'm not 100% on this. I could be entirely wrong. But I think I saw either in the trailer back when I originally watched it, back when this was coming out, or in some clip I saw somewhere or something. I think I saw something that was not okay. Let's just say a very stereotypical portrayal of a quote-unquote Native American character. And I say the quotes because not human. They're not humans. They're food. But you get the idea. Basically, a stereotype of a Native American person, just done through food. And that shit bothers the hell out of me. Because it's racist. It's racist. Why do you think the sports team changed their name? Because the name was racist. And there was just a shit ton of complaints constantly over it. And rightly so. And there's been a lot of other things changing their branding and whatnot as well, because of the same reasons. Excuse me. But I believe I remember seeing something like that in a trailer or a random clip I managed to see. Excuse me. And if that's the case, that is... I'm just going to say right off the bat, that will bother the shit out of me. That will anger me, even. Because I hate seeing that. And not just for Native Americans, for anyone. I hate seeing these stereotyped, just negative portrayals. And not even, like, showing them as, like, bad people necessarily, but they are negative stereotypes that are founded in racism and shit. And it's just, it's not okay. Now, I'm not 100% sure on this, mind you. But I think that's what I had seen in a clip. So if I'm wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, then cool, good. I will take full responsibility for that. I will acknowledge it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I hope I am. So yeah, not really too much else I know about this. I don't know like any real big specifics. I don't actually think I know who's voicing in this, except probably Seth Rogen. I mean, he made the movie. I assume he's voicing in it too. Um, but otherwise, I'm not really sure. I think this was before James Franco was outed as a piece of shit, sexual assaulter and everything. So he might be in this, unfortunately. Um, but still, I don't know otherwise. I don't even know if he's actually in it. Either way, we're just going to get this started, hope for the best, and hopefully this movie ends up surprising me in a good way. I don't necessarily know or think it will, but we'll see. Either way, for now, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black, then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the movie. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. To be completely fair here, I went into this not really expecting to like it. So, if I'm being completely fair, it was better than I expected. It was, considering I expected almost nothing to be good in this. The fact that there was at least a little bit that I found funny or entertaining or whatnot, or even surprising in some cases, that's, I can give it that. I can see why some people would find this movie appealing. I could see why they could find it entertaining. For me, most of the movie is so ridiculously try hard with its humor that it just goes to a point where it's just not funny. It's like, oh, let's be as vulgar and everything as possible. Let's make just as many sex jokes, use as much F bombs as we can, because that's funny, right? And it's like, no. Like, sex jokes can be funny. Using F bombs in the right context at the right time can be funny. But timing is everything when it comes to humor, when it comes to comedy. Just oversaturating your movie with it doesn't make it funny. It just makes it annoying and lose what little humor it could have. You want to know what the funniest parts about this movie were? The references to real life people or things or whatnot, such as, you know, a package of Meatloaf singing a song by the musician Meatloaf. That's funny. Or the ending bit, the fourth wall breaking ending bit. That's funny. The constant swearing, not funny. The constant sex jokes, not funny. The constant offensive stereotypes used in this, not funny. Like, it's just offensive stereotypes. Like, they don't even do anything with them. Like, the only thing you could say that is done is like, the fact that the... What is he? Some kind of pita wrap thing. And the bagel getting together in the end. It's like that kind of subverts expectations a little bit. But just overall, it's like... It was just using offensive stereotypes and not actually, like, subverting them for the most part. And some of it was so cringy and terrible. Like, the entire the entire Hitler joke and hating on the juice. It's like one that is super fucking cringy, and it's like everybody has made jokes like that. It's so bad. It's so dumb. It's never been good. And also, you don't do that. That's not okay. It's like this. It's like the movie was trying to be just edgy for the sake of being edgy, trying to use as much offensive uh, humor as possible, just to do it. It feels like one of those shows or whatnot, like Rick and Morty, that just mindlessly uses this kind of humor, and it just makes it feel forced and try hard and completely unfunny. Honestly, there were three things in this that I really liked. I would say probably three scenes, or around three scenes, that I thought were like notably good. Um, the orgy, because I'm a horny bitch, and the only character I liked, the gay taco, like she got she got some, and I appreciate that. Plus, there was some queer representation showcased in this that was okay in that regard. Outside of just her and everything. I mean, granted, pretty much everyone was just fucking everyone in that scene, but I liked the ending gag with the fourth wall breaking. I mean, I always like fourth wall breaking gags. That is my kind of humor. That's funny. That's genuinely funny. And I liked the scene earlier on in the movie where the food was getting killed and eaten by the one woman, the one who had dropped all the food, and the douche as well and everything. You know what scene I'm talking about. Um, that scene was funny. It was over the top enough to where it was really funny, but not too over the top to where it just became ridiculous. And sorry for the sun coming in. I have the curtains closed, but it's like I can't really do anything. It's just the time this is recording at, because daylight savings bullshit. um, but almost everything else in this was just the same jokes over and over. Racist stereotypes, cultural stereotypes, language F-bombs dropped, sexual jokes, with just no care put behind them. The douche as a main villain, I guess you could say. I guess technically the humans were also main villains, quote unquote. But the douche was kind of the main villain. He was. I get the joke that he was supposed to be a douchebag, you know, like just a terrible person and everything. Like the way he spoke and all even expressed that, and the things he said. I get the joke, but he was so boring as a character. It's like he wasn't even hateable. He was just boring. He was so bland and uninteresting, and it's just like, why is he the villain? And I admit that the entire climax with the food fighting and killing all these humans in the store was excessively unexpected. I really did not see that coming. And I admit it was pretty fun. It was pretty interesting. Um, Especially when they first revealed that the druggy dude was dead. It's like, they're here. It's like, wait, how are they here? All of a sudden, head. It's like, I excuse me? Because the last we saw was of Barry about to be dropped into the pot. Actually being dropped into the pot. So we had no context for anything. So it's just like, I'm sorry. suddenly the dude is dead and you're just carrying around his disembodied head. Okay, sure, why not? Um, I didn't care for Frank and Brenda's relationship at all. In fact, pretty much once the taco was introduced, honestly, I think she should have ended up with Brenda. Instead, there was even this kind of little commentary on, oh, we can't change up the status quo, basically. It's like hot dogs and buns are supposed to go together, so we have to go together. And in the end, they still got together. Even though there's this like big kind of almost like speech, you could say, um, about like the possibility of changing things up, and Brenda even saying that she would have been cool with trying that out. And granted, they fucked. Like that was clearly shown, but again, everyone fucked. It was a massive queer as fuck orgy, which is pretty cool, admittedly. Just they went full on queer for it, and I'm here for that. But at the same time, it just I feel like it would have been better if if Brenda got together with the taco. Um, I think it would have been a subversion of tropes, and if Barry maybe found someone else or whatnot during the entire thing, because I felt no chemistry at all. There was nothing there. It felt like what they said it was. A, they were made to be together, and it didn't feel like they actually belonged together. You know, it felt like it was just a forced relationship, like Star and Marco from Star vs. the Force of Evil. Let's compare it to that, because why the fuck not? It felt very much like that. Completely forced, unnatural, and no real romantic chemistry between them. Um, the bagel and the pita sandwich guy, whatever the fuck he's supposed to be, I don't know. Um, it said what he is. It's just I don't know what that is. So, but their relationship actually felt logical. Like that one, it's like, oh yeah, it's clear that they're gonna either become best friends or get together at the end. That was obvious. Um, and it was well built up, and honestly, it felt earned. It didn't feel like it came out of nowhere. It didn't feel like it was a random bullshit thing. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate that the best like actual romantic chemistry in this movie was for a gay couple. I actually do kind of appreciate that. Um, I did also kind of like the joke that people could only see the truth that all the food was alive and everything if they were drugged out of their mind on bath salts. I don't know if any other drug would have worked or if it has to specifically be bath salts, but that's genuinely kind of funny. Um, but yeah, like I said, really the only character I really liked was the taco. Like she was actually likable. She wasn't she wasn't terrible like a lot of the other characters, or just completely stupid. And honestly, I was rooting for her to get together with Brenda. I just still wish that had happened because there was it was working towards that in a natural way. And but again, at least they got to have sex. At least she got some of those buns, you know. um, it was it was an okay movie, I guess. Like overall, like it could have been a lot worse. I've seen worse. Um, I've seen worse in terms of stoner movies. I've seen worse in terms of in terms of like overly quote unquote adult comedies. I guess that's a way to put it. I've seen much worse. This is not by any means the worst, but it does have some some notable issues I can't ignore. The biggest one being the racist and culturally insensitive stereotypes being used. That is definitely the worst issue. I can ignore or at least put up with all the sexual jokes. I can ignore at least put up with um, all of the overused language. That's fine. That's fine. But the stereotypes that are racially insensitive, culturally insensitive, etc. That's not okay. There's nothing that makes that okay. Like the only way I think you can really use something like that in media is when you're actively portraying it as evil and showing it as like a serious, like, bad character saying it. And in the end, even though they kind of like played off of that, like, oh, there was they changed all the lyrics. You saw them literally like saying like these horrible things and everything. It's like they kind of mentioned it, but that's not enough, and it was still portrayed for a joke, and it's not really okay. Um, but yeah, like I said, I've seen worse. And as I said at the beginning of these afterthoughts, it's like I went into this expecting like nothing to be funny, nothing to be good. I expected to hate everything and to come out of this as upset with this as I was with Teen Titans Go to the Movies. Okay, maybe not that upset. But again, I was at least surprised that there were enough moments in this that were funny, that were clever, that were surprising, and even good. And that's saying something at least. And yeah, I know it's ridiculous and silly that one of those scenes is the orgy scene for me. But still, I really do apologize for this lighting. Not really anything I can do about it. Like, if I go way over here, it's like, oh, this looks silly as fuck. But yeah. Um, but like I said, I'm willing to check out anything. I'm willing to give anything a chance because there was a shot that this could have been even better. There was a chance, but it just didn't. It didn't really go there for me. It's like it's a movie I very unlikely would ever watch again, and at least I saw it now. At least I gave it a chance. And again, there were some things about it that were more enjoyable than I expected them to be. So, that all being said, what did you all think of Sausage Party? Let me know down in the comments below, and for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.